Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for September 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Taurus. You have this searching card and this window card. I literally feel you are looking for a window. I mean, I say this to you in every single reading because it's true. But, I do believe that, you could be looking for a way out of situations. These might not even be bad situations, but it's like you can be in a good situation, like a job where you're making a bunch of money, for example, and it can be good, but at the same time, you might desire to, have more freedom right here. The Eight of Wands. So, this is based off your astrology, but I do feel you're kind of looking for a window. I think you are looking for an opportunity to get out of situations that are not for you. You literally have the not for you card and the new life card. Like, you can't make this stuff up here, Taurus. So, it seems to be a major focus for you is, setting yourself free. I've said this to you for like 2 years now, mostly because of all the energy in Taurus. It's going to make you feel like you need to be free, or if something is restricting you, you're not going to tolerate it at all. So these two wanted to come out together there, so we're going to take them. But, other than that, you have the Six of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Five of Cups. I kind of get this feeling of running out of ideas, for some of you. So, especially in work or business, whatever it is you do, even if you're retired, you could be looking for ideas to, do more with your money, or to save more money, or to, you could be looking for, again, like a window of opportunity to increase the money that you do get from retirement or whatever. And, I think that some of you feel like you're running out of ideas, but really, I think there is like a little bit of a spark of inspiration. You have the Spark card coming up, and it's a pretty straightforward reading to me. I feel like you've kind of manifested an opportunity to really charge forward. We kind of see this right here, going Eight of Wands to the Knight of Swords to the Magician. And so without even clarifying, that's where I feel like this reading is going. You have the Six of Pentacles here. Very weird message that I'm getting off the Six of Pentacles. I feel like you need to give to something else. He's giving to one of these people, but not the other. Six of Pentacles can, represent equal give and take, needing to give equally. It can represent so many things, but for whatever reason, it's almost like you could be investing your time, effort, energy, finances, whatever, in a certain direction, but there might be a better direction. I talk a lot about leverage now, because again, in the astrology, I think there are a lot of benefits to looking for opportunities of leverage. Leverage is just it could be anything. Like, are there opportunities for you to get more out of what you do? It's like, I chop my videos up and I share them on Instagram and TikTok, and I share them as shorts on this channel, right? And, it's kind of like every little bit counts, right? But it is a form of leverage because I'm not really doing any more work, and it gets me a bigger, result. So, it's like, are there things like that in your life that you could be doing? It's like, I think about even like with your health, for example. It's like, I always see people running. I go for a walk every single day. I see these people running. They all look like they're about to fall over and die, every single last one of them. And I'm like, there are better ways to stay healthy if you don't enjoy this. You don't look like you are enjoying this. You look like you're about to crap your pants, right? So what I would say here is, it's like, are there better ways to do things? And the Six of Pentacles is about, planting a seed, basically trying something new, seeing what happens. If it works, great, double down on it. If it doesn't, move on. You have the Strength card. I do feel Leo, by the way. If some of you are looking for love, there could be a Leo here. Two of Cups. You have the Three of Cups, Lovers over here. It could just be a fire sign in general. You do have a lot of fire. I mean, you have Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries right here. I didn't even see the Temperance card at first, so there you go. Definitely could be a fire sign coming in for you. I do feel like you've been very patient here, kind of like trying to get ahead in life. You have the Five of Cups, a little bit of disappointment creeping in here in this reading. Even that Not For You card, I don't think it's bad necessarily, because you have that New Life card, which I love that freaking card in that deck, Wisdom of the Oracle. But what I would say is, I feel like there's a little bit of maybe sadness, or I don't know what it is, just like kind of running out of ideas, right? I feel like there is a good idea that's like right behind you. If he's just grateful, he gets his bridge in this castle. So I kind of feel this is saying, like, don't give up on something just yet. Especially, again, intuitively, I feel this is especially for those of you that are working on a project, a business, something involving your finances. I was also getting health or something like that as well, so it could be health. But let's see, I'm using the what the hell is this called? The Oracle of the Radiant Sun. To clarify, with the Six of Pentacles, you have this organized card or organization card. Six of Pentacles could be a card of staying organized. I also am having something, popping into my head. It's like saying that there are certain steps that you have to follow in life, like especially if you're trying to be successful, right? And I feel like information overload, right? Where you have a lot of this information in front of you. It's like you have, maybe you do have the answers to how to become more successful, but it's almost overwhelming how much information goes into that. So again, Six of Pentacles always reminds me to, break things down into small bite-sized pieces and kind of build up, to a certain thing. I don't know, it does feel a little overwhelming, but at the same time, I think whatever is overwhelming you, if you just break it down, it's like you don't have to do everything today. You can do things over time, and that's what that's saying to me. With the every single person, I kid you not, I think every single person so far has had either versatility, adaptability, or there's another card in this deck that basically means the same thing in exactly the same position, the second card. And so, clearly it's a time where we have to be versatile. We have to make sure we're staying open to multiple ways of doing things. Again, I always repeat this in every single reading because, I think we forget sometimes that it's like you don't have to do things the same way over and over and over again, especially if it's not working in any area of your life. With the Five of Cups, you have this power card, and I feel you could be doing things that are kind of leveling you up. We'll talk about this next, but this new life card, she is being lifted up on a pedestal. She is being, risen up. And so I feel the universe is kind of increasing your influence or maybe raising your power at this time. Let's talk about it. Next, we're going to look at the next big change that's coming in for you. And you have this Not For You card and this new life card. So, again, for some of you, I feel there's a new idea that's coming in. It's a new direction. Something that you've been working on maybe is not for you, or just the way that you're doing things is not for you, and there's a better way that's coming in. I really feel this is a reading that's just saying, there's a better way to do something. I also feel that hard boundaries would be a really good idea for you at this time. It's funny because, I did a Q&A the other day, and someone in that Q&A, they said, like, how do you know when to give up on something? And it's kind of like a hard question to answer, right? Because I'm a type of person, I don't give up on anything, basically, right? It takes a long time for me to quit on something that I think is a good idea. But, I basically said to that person, a rule that I started following. I started following this rule mostly because I have a million ideas, and I was just getting overwhelmed with all these ideas. As I started breaking things down into quarters, giving myself 3 months to do something and see if it works. If it works, great, I keep doing it, whether it's a business idea, some other type of idea. If it doesn't work, then I move on and I do something else, right? And so I said the same thing to this person. I said, you have to, we all have different levels of tolerance, right? Of how much we can take before we have to quit on something. But if you can say like, okay, I can give this new business idea this much effort, and if I don't see at least some forward movement in the next 3 months, it's time to quit. So again, I am getting that here where it's like something needs a hard boundary. I also feel this in love as well, because we have the Eight of Wands to the Knight of Swords, the Magician, and you have the Lovers, you have the Two of Cups here. So what I would say is, especially with Neptune and Pisces, like if you're getting in something long distance, if you're getting in something that's more of a fantasy, right? The problem with Neptune and Pisces in love is that it's all fantasy, no reality. And so if you get into something long distance, it's like you really get wrapped up into that fantasy. But then the problem with that is that it never becomes a reality. So the trick is to set a hard boundary, right? Like with a person, if you meet a person long distance, great, see how it goes. But you need to say like, if we don't meet by XYZ date, then we need, for whatever reason, then we need to call this off. You need to put a hard boundary, because if you don't, you will just stay stuck in the fantasy and it will just become this weird cycle thing, right? So, that's what I would do here. You have the Eight of Wands, the Temperance card, and the Two of Cups. Eight of Wands is quick success and rushing energy. We have the Knight of Swords, which is also something rushing in. Normally, I do not like the Knight of Swords, but I actually do feel pretty good about this. I kind of feel it's the success that you're getting, and I always tell people that, I think it's important to give yourself credit and realize if it seems like you're becoming successful quickly at something new, that might be true, but also don't, discount the years of work that you did before this time to get there. So really, I think that it's not come quickly. It's probably taken you years to get here. And, I think you need to part of being grateful is like celebrating, what you have been through, especially with this Five of Cups here. But I do feel like something is happening quickly. Temperance is turning one thing into another. So again, I do get the feeling here of like letting something go with that not for you card. It does feel financial to me, like I said earlier. So, if you're doing something financial, making a change, financially, letting go of a business, it's like in that death is going to be this transformation where that leads you to your true path, which is right here. I always tell people, it's like if you read any book about any company that's been successful, it's like they've all started as one thing and turned into another. It's like I think PayPal originally started as something else and it turned into PayPal. It's like many big companies started as like one thing and they turned into something else. It's like that's how it works for whatever reason, right? So I kind of feel that's what this is saying. I think, again, I always blame school, that school teaches us we have to know exactly what we want right away. we have to know, you have to go to college and you have to know exactly what you want to be when you grow up. And also school trains us like you have to take a test and you have to be right 100% of the time, right? Or else you're like a loser or something. And so, what I would say is life is not school, right? We have Google. We can look up answers. We don't need to know anything. literally, the dumber you are, the more successful you can be is what I believe. It's like, as someone who has worked with like a ton of businesses, as a consultant and everything like that, it's like the people who are very successful, again, I'm not making fun of these people or anything, but they're always the people who are not necessarily the most intelligent. I'm not saying they're stupid or anything like that, but they are just people who just don't think about things. They don't care about the test, right? There is no test. They don't care what grade they get. They just do it and they just see what happens, right? And I kind of get that energy here for whatever reason on the Two of Cups, that like I feel you need to realize that there is no test. There is no like right or wrong about what you do with your life. There is no one that is going to give you an A, B, C, D, F. Like, if you're me, a bunch of F's in school, right? So there's no one here to do that. And I think that, that it's okay to start something one direction, which it looks like some of you have, and it's okay to go in a completely new direction later. In fact, I think it's better to do it that way. Instead of getting stuck. Like I've talked to so many people that are like, I started this business and, now I feel like a slave because I'm like stuck to it. I'm like, change it. Do something different. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to torture yourself, right? And I kind of feel that here, Taurus, where this is saying, I'm not saying it's business. It could be anything. I'm just using that as an example, but I feel like something has to change. With the Eight of Wands, you have this principal card. This is Sagittarius energy, this card, but it always reminds me of you. There's this mitre right here, kind of like on the Hierophant, if it wants to focus, and it's a card of principle, but and the Hierophant is a card of your principles, your values, and what you value in life. And so I feel like you need the Eight of Wands is a card of alignment. And so this would say that you are aligning with your values. Again, if we have a job that we hate, we are not living the truth. We are not living our value, right? If we are in a relationship we hate or something else that we hate, we are not living in alignment. And I feel like this is saying get into alignment. Literally, look at this. With the Temperance card, you have this order card. You have the organization card, this order card. It's like I said, I feel you're coming into alignment maybe with your truth about like what your true values in life are, and that's going to set you free. With the Two of Cups, you have this originality card. Now, you could be, by the way, if you want love, this person right here is very original. These two people are meant to look very different on the Two of Cups, and this person here is like something unique. So it could suggest, I always say the Two of Cups can suggest that you're attracting a person that is not like your usual type. It can be a signal that you're attracting a person who's different than your usual type. Next in the we are going to be looking at, what are we doing again? Oh, the good. No, we're looking at what you don't see coming. You have this Strength card and you have this Spark card here. And so I feel for a lot of you have Strength twice, basically. You've been strong, you've been patient, you've been waiting. The spark, I feel, is the idea. It's like the spark of hope that is motivating you to get over this overwhelming feeling. It's almost like you're finding a window, like it's not, I don't really feel it's an escape necessarily, but I do feel you're kind of making a change. You have the Nine of Swords, which is a never-ending nightmare. Like I said earlier, there seems to be something that just hasn't changed. And again, this is where that word, the hard boundary or whatever I was getting, is kind of like coming in to the reading. I feel like you need to set some sort of hard boundary, or again, if you've been working on something for a very long time and you're not seeing a result, then maybe it is time to let that thing go and change. Again, the one thing I will say is that you have to make sure that you've given it a true honest effort. Like how much I said to this person on the Q&A, I said, they said they've been working on something for a while and they weren't sure like when they should give up. And I was like, well, how much have you actually done, and you have to be honest with yourself when you answer that question. Like, have I actually done the amount of work that's required to make this successful in the first place? Is there something else I could try, or is it time to move on? So I can't answer that question for you. I feel like that's where like mentors in life come in. That's where being able to look at other people who've done what you have done and like you don't want to compare yourself, but you should be able to say like, okay, am I doing like exactly what this person did? Am I kind of like mimicking the success? Am I doing enough effort? Just not to like, I don't want to go on and on about this, but I was talking to someone else like a couple months ago about their YouTube channel, and they do tarot. And they said, I see all these tarot readers, getting their 100,000 subscribers very quickly, and all this other stuff. And I've been doing this, and for however long it was, and they're like, I'm not as successful. I haven't had this many views. I'm like, well, when I looked at their channel, they only like were doing collectives, and so I told this person, I was like, you got to do more than collectives because you're not doing what everybody else does, right? And so, it's like, again, can you be honest with yourself and say, I'm not really doing enough? Or maybe you are. Again, I'm not criticizing anyone here, but I would really look at that. I feel like that's what this reading wants. You have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is something rushing in. I do feel something could be rushing in love-wise. Definitely could be a fire sign, for sure. Could be an air sign as well. But it seems like it will be a victory. I feel it's something that could be very successful for you, lead to a lot of success and happiness. You could be meeting this person in public or like through some sort of social gathering with the Three of Cups. I do feel this is a reunion. This could be like a past life lover, a person that you've known from the past. I don't think it's someone you dated, but, I do feel that kind of reunion energy where you like recognize each other. But again, this could be more like soul recognition where you meet this person. It's like someone that you meet in public, like I said, or, something along those lines. Let's see what's going on here. With the Nine of Swords, you have this decision card. You have two choices right here. The Lovers was originally a card about, being at a crossroads. It was originally a card of making a choice. To me, the choice is simple. With the Lovers, you always pick the new path. I'll tell you why. Because the old path is on fire. You can see that this tree is on fire. It's like this is much more, tempting. There's a snake there for temptation. But still, this is the better path over here. This here represents divine guidance. This is your higher self angel. But I feel like you are being guided in a new direction. I would pick the new path. With the Knight of Swords, yes, you have this birth card. Definitely the birth of something new with this Knight of Swords. A new connection, new life, something like that. With the Three of Cups and the Six of Wands, you have this caution card here. I don't really see anything to be cautious about unless this is talking about the fantasy. I would be cautious about, number one, jealous people with the Six of Wands, right? And number two, I would be careful of getting stuck in some sort of fantasy. Again, I would put a hard boundary in place, whether this is love, money, a business you're working on, doesn't matter. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this abalone shell. It says healing from the inside out. Definitely some sort of healing going on here. You have this conch shell. It says message from beyond communication. Yes. You have the Two of Cups, which I consider to be a card of you and your higher self. It says that you could be receiving communication from the other side in your like dreams, your daydreams. So you need to listen to your dreams, your daydreams, the things that you become interested in. There could be a lot of answers there for you. You have the Emperor, the Lovers, and the Magician. I always pull the card the Magician is pointing towards, so we're going to take this bottom card here. It says the Poet. So you could be attracting a poet. You could be attracting a person who kind of like has a way with words or something like that, right? So definitely something I would pay attention to. I also feel like you have a way with words. I'm not really getting like poet, like that type of energy. I'm more, when I zone out on this card, it's like I'm more focused on a flow, something having more of a flow, and that's like what you're attracting here. I think I already did this, but whatever. You have the Emperor here. Definitely could be attracting an Aries or an Emperor type person. Fire stands out to me quite a bit, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was a fire sign. I'm also hearing like you might have compatible fire sign like Venus or Jupiter, something like that in your astrology. So again, this person could be like any sign, but maybe it's like you have a compatible sign to their Venus or to their Jupiter or something like that. I don't know, weird, but whatever. Take how it resonates. They, could be in Aries or something. The other thing I would say is that I feel like you're ready for action here. We see this right here. It's like Two of Cups, Knight of Swords to the Emperor. It's like you're ready to take action on something that matches up with your soul, with that Two of Cups. You have the Lovers. Definitely could be love. It's weird. This month, it's like love has returned. All of a sudden, August was just like meh for love, and this month September, love has returned, and we do have Venus going direct on the 3rd, so kind of makes sense. But what I would say here is definitely a lot of good love readings if you want love. You have the Magician. The Magician is about having a new beginning as well. We see a lot of new beginning cards here, but it's also a card of your skills. So I feel like you need to, kind of like use your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities to be successful. But let's see. With the Emperor, you have this innovation card, versatility, innovation. They're both Aquarius cards, by the way. So, we are in a time of innovation. It's time to take action on innovative ideas. That's where the success will come from. With the Lovers, you have the empathy card here. See, this is the other thing as well. This gives me like King of Cups vibes for obvious reasons. It could be a water sign coming in for you, but I feel like more importantly, it's like you're attracting someone who does have empathy. I feel that's something you'll notice is it's a person who listens, a person who is very original. Look at this. You have versatility, originality, and innovation. Definitely like a very original, type of connection coming in for you if you're looking for love. And by the way, if you have an original idea, it's clearly going to be very successful. With the Magician, you have this assertion, Aries, by the way. So this is the Sun in Aries, and it could be an Aries as well, take how it resonates, whatever. Or it's just a very assertive, like forward person who maybe they come off like very Emperor type energy if you are looking for love. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. I'm using a mega deck over here. And you have this Drifter card. It says, experience life as it comes. This is like going with the flow. This is, you start in one place, you end up in another. Life is not school. Sometimes we have to, maybe we get sidetracked, but maybe that sidetrack is way better than what we originally planned. You have this completion card. You're ending one thing, you're going to the next. Very simple. You have this Woodwives card. It says adaptability. What did this? Oh, that says, this said versatility, right? Yes, you have, again, it's crazy to me that everybody's been getting these cards. I've been saying since we had that last eclipse in Taurus last year, that eclipse really, really highlighted being adaptable and adapting to situations, not staying stuck on, doing things a certain way, experimenting. You have the Nine of Pentacles here. I thought I saw something else about this, but I guess not. But anyway, Nine of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy, definitely a lot of abundance coming in for you. I feel that focus is going to be super important. She normally has that falcon on her hand, and she is training her focus. It's like what she focuses on is what she gets. She also doesn't have scattered focus. She keeps her eye on the prize. So keep your eye on the prize. And you even have this Taming the Wind card, which I feel is saying the same thing. I feel it's saying, wind, like when a gust of wind blows, it's just like all over the place, right? But you can take wind, basically. They have air compressors that can cut through metal, right? They have you force it through a tiny little point and it can cut through something if you force enough pressure through something, right? So I kind of feel that here where it's like, right now, maybe the energy is a little bit scattered, but if you focus it, you could cut right through anything that you're trying to do in your life. So focus is important. Again, you might have a lot of ideas. You might be overwhelmed with information, but that one step at a time focus is what's going to make you win this month of September. So, that's what I do. Really good reading. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.